If you try to enter Ukraine and manage everything remotely, you will fail. In the next 10 minutes, you'll understand how business actually works in Ukraine in reality, why most foreign companies get it completely wrong, and what you need to do differently if you want to win here. My name is Mark Gazki. I'm the managing director of Gazki Limited. Since 2012, we've been building and managing international trade flows of physical industrial products as well as professional business services between Ukraine and over 25 countries across the world. We help international industrial companies source, sell, and execute in Ukraine without them having to manage things remotely. Now, first, I'll show you the biggest mindset mistakes that foreign companies make when they try to enter Ukraine. Then I'll explain how business actually works on the ground in real situations. And at the end, I'll give you a practical model that you can use to enter Ukraine without wasting time and money. You see, most companies try to manage Ukraine from Germany, from the UK, or from the United States. They rely on emails, on Zoom calls, and on occasional follow-ups. But this approach simply doesn't work. Ukraine is a presence-driven market in reality. If you are not physically here, you effectively do not exist for the market. We've seen companies trying to negotiate supply contracts for months without real progress. And then we step in, we visit the factory, we meet the decision makers in person, and we achieve more progress in 7 days than they did in 3 months. In Ukraine, business truly starts when you show up in person. Let's move on. In Western Europe, business is usually structured, formal, and process-driven. In Ukraine, it is much more relational. You meet people personally, you sit down together, you have dinner, you shake hands face to face. Trust is not built on contracts alone. It is built on human interaction and personal connection. If people do not know you, they will not prioritize you. If they do not trust you, they will not give you real and honest information. You are not simply entering a market. You are actually entering a network of relationships. This is absolutely critical to understand. Ukraine operates heavily on internal networks of trust. People prefer to work with those they already know, often for many years. In reality, it is simply deep relationship dependency. What does this mean for you in practice? You as an outsider are not trusted by default, and breaking into that circle directly is extremely difficult and time-consuming. Cold entry creates high friction. Warm entry creates acceleration. This is one of the biggest leverage points you have. You always need an introduction from someone trusted, a connection inside the network, or a reliable intermediary. Because through warm channels, two very important things happen. You gain instant credibility, you receive insider level information. A supplier, for instance, will often not tell you about critical production limitations directly, but through a trusted contact, you might hear something like, be careful with this, they have issues with this and that technical aspect. For example, that single insight can save you money. It can also save you months of problems. The difference between profit and loss in Ukraine is often just one conversation that you normally would not have access to. Another important reality is Ukraine is flexible, it is moving fast, it is very adaptive. But at the same time, without structure, things start to drift. You must bring discipline into the process, clarity into communication, and a consistent follow-up system. Otherwise, deadlines start to move, agreements become less strict, and execution slows down significantly. Ukraine gives you speed, but you must provide structure yourself. We've seen this repeatedly in real projects, where companies tried to approach Ukraine directly, failed to gain traction, and then restructure their entry through local presence and relationships, which completely changed the outcome. If you're evaluating Ukraine in your commercial operations, use the form below this video for a free confidential review of your situation. Let's see how we can help you structure this properly. This point surprises many foreign companies. Today, you might hear, this is urgent, we need this immediately. And then tomorrow, there is silence. The need suddenly disappears. This is not incompetence. This is how the market behaves under constant volatility. Priorities shift very fast. What you must do is validate real demand carefully, confirm actual commitment, and avoid over-investing too early. Interest does not equal real demand. Urgency does not equal commitment. In many countries, if someone does not reply, it is often interpreted as a signal. In Ukraine, it often means nothing at all. People get distracted, they switch tasks quickly, they simply forget to respond. If you do not follow up, you will lose opportunities. If you follow up consistently, you will win deals that others lose. Persistence is not considered pushy here, it is considered professional. Inside Ukrainian companies, departments are interconnected. Decisions are influenced by internal trust, previous cooperation, and informal relationships. That means you're not selling to just one person, you're entering an entire internal ecosystem. And if one key person does not trust you, everything slows down significantly. Now let's quickly sum up what we covered in today's video. You cannot operate Ukraine remotely. Business is relationship driven. Trust networks dominate decision making. Warm entry channels are highly critical. You must bring structure and discipline. Demand can be unstable, therefore validate before acting. Follow-ups are essential. And last but not least, internal company ecosystems matter. Ukraine is not a difficult market. It is simply a different system. And if you truly understand how it works, you can move faster, reduce risk, and unlock serious financial advantages. If you're considering Ukraine in your commercial strategy, reach out through the form below for a confidential review. Our team will help you approach the market in a way that reduces risk and improves your financial results. If you found this information valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next video.